and welcome back to our Maserati F1 Manager series, and we are heading to Japan in today's episode, and that came off the last episode where we showcased both the season opener in Australia and China. So if you haven't checked out episode 2 in this series, which is China and Australia, do go back and do so before getting into this one. But if you're returning and you're not already, or you're new around here and you like F1 Manager content, please do subscribe to the channel. Do like the videos. Likes really do help me out, and get involved down below in the comments. But yes, if you have seen that last episode, then you will know it was a tale of two races. Australia, as expected, finished dead last, way off the pace, and we were expecting that in China, but a few driver mistakes and I think really tyre management issues for other drivers up and down the grid allowed us to achieve a very good result. Obviously no points, but 12th for Colapinto and 17th for Maloney, so not 21st and 22nd. We were very, very happy with that. So that's given quite a bit of confidence to both the drivers and the team before we head into Japan today. So a little bit of work to do because I think we've just had a design complete. Let's check that out first. Actually, scratch that. We didn't have a design complete. It was a manufacturing project we completed. So in fact, the cars will run as they were in China because the new suspension and side pods are not going to be ready until the day of Suzuka, so we won't do any emergency manufacture on that, although we have got 24 million, so we might be able to do some emergency manufacturing as we progress later on in the season. Front wing and underfloor, these two projects I think are going to make a big difference. 26 days until the underfloor, 37 until the front wing, so it's going to be a little while till we get those. We've got Japan today, and then we've got Bahrain in a couple of weeks, and then Saudi. So I think they'll probably be ready around about the Saudi race. So we'll get two of the new designs on for Bahrain. So we're running the same car spec as we did in China and Suzuka. Get two new designs hopefully on for Bahrain. Then the real big two, the front wing and underfloor, hopefully for Saudi, which really should hopefully propel us up the grid. Yeah, Team Hub has been upgraded now to level 2. So we did that because, again, it just gives some weekly development boosts as well as mentality boosts, which is the main thing that we wanted there. But we're not going to do anything else in terms of upgrades at the moment. Hey, we've got some suspension simulator concerns. I'm concerned about our suspension simulator as I recently noted signs of what could be structural damage. I would advise hiring a contractor to carry out structural analysis on the building. Of course, this will cost a reasonable sum. However, if there is a problem, we'll be able to fix it before it gets any worse and before the repairs become more costly. So suspension simulator shut down for 10 days. 100,000. I guess we're going to have to do that. Right, new suspension is completed. So let us manufacture that. We'll get 4 of those actually underway. And I think our side pods are also done. They are. So let us get those done as well. There we go, side pods. We've just done those. So that should open up another couple of design slots. We've done a design on everything now, so let's go back to rear wing and let's go for 1.5 and 20-hour wind tunnel time. So where are we looking in terms of, yeah, high speed is going up quite nicely now. Just want to bring minimum lifespan right down as usual. Right, let's go with that because it's going to balance out high speed, not going to improve much on the high speed. But what it will do is it will bring our low speed and medium speed up, so it will balance it out quite nicely. So let's go with that. One engineer, 1.8 million, 44 days. And let us also go with, another side pod then. And let's use the rest of our wind tunnel on CFD. Let's bring the minimum lifespan right down. And we'll bring drag reduction right up to make some differences on top speed and acceleration. Yeah, let's go with that. One engineer, that's $1 million, 33 days. A full suite of designs again as we try to climb up the grid. We are now ready for Suzuka practice, and it is a sprint weekend here in Suzuka, so the first sprint of the year. We look at car analysis here, here. Then you will see we should have been dead last in Australia, which we were. Should have been dead last in China, which we weren't. Says we're a little bit quick around Japan. This was even higher up. But obviously some of the grid have done upgrades before this race. We haven't got any new parts on, but we should be a little bit more quicker than we were at other tracks, but doesn't always pan out like that. But I'm very interested to see once we get to Bahrain and Saudi, because we'll have quite a few new parts on the car. So by race 5-6, we should be a little bit more competitive. But let's see what we can do in Suzuka as we begin practice and the one and only practice session. Oh, we don't want to go 18th. We want to go 21st, just in case. 21st or higher. Yeah, the one and only practice session before we get into our first sprint quali and sprint race of the year. Okay, our one and only practice session completed then. Setup satisfaction for Zane Maloney, 77%, but it's actually higher than that. We tried a second setup. It was reduced in its percentage, so we'll revert back to the better one. Colapinto, we got to 94%, but it's just one indicator that we could move a little bit, which should get him to 100% or close to. So pretty sure we're going to nail Colapinto's setup once we get through the sprint qualifying session. So at the moment, they're both not set up too well, but they should be after sprint quali, which is coming next. Okay, we've got our sprint laps underway then. And Maloney is first on track, so he's going purple to 139.9, 131.9. Colapinto has been held up, so we're going to have to call him in. Let's allow Maloney to finish his lap, though. And we're going to have to remind me, chat, because I keep forgetting in between races to move this logo. So someone needs to remind me once we're at the loading screen. But Maloney, car's getting out of the way nicely. Let's see what time he sets then. And Maloney then across the line. And it's 129.6. Let's see how good that is.
More charge.
Okay, so Maloney is currently in 10th place. So a lot of traffic in Suzuka causing havoc. Colapinto has found himself on a nice clean track though. So this should be very good for Franco to try and get a clean lap in. Obviously he's used a bit of this tyre life. You only get one compound in sprint qualifying. So let's see how we go. And he's gone 31.7 through that first sector. Let's just forward on then. Let's see how we go through these next couple of sectors. Catch him at the end of the lap. Here we go. So it's a 37.4. So he is going quicker. He's going to beat his teammate here, Maloney. Let's have a look. Here comes Franco then, heading to the line. He does. He goes up to P6. Very nice. But as I say, there's... I think there's a lot of traffic because we're 1.7 off the lead and still in 6th at the moment, but we're not going to go out again. There's only 3 minutes of the session left. Let's see what happens. Yuki Tsunoda's had a lock-up. Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull.
And the car fails to respond. What caused that?
Not ideal. Yuki Tsunoda making his debut for Red Bull here. Where is Yuki? Yuki's in P10. He should, well, let's say, if that's wrecked his lap, if that was his flying lap. Yeah, he's now on an in lap, so that's wrecked his flyer. So let's just see who's actually... Yeah, there's a lot of activity still going. Behrman is finished. Still got quite a few cars to finish here. Just want to see what Carlos Sainz does as he comes across the line. Colapinto still 6th. Sainz is on a flyer. Let's see what Sainz does. Sainz across the line. He's not improved. No, this is looking good for us here. Let's forward on to checkered flag. There is checkered flag. Oh, Maloney's now really on the drop zone. So Ocon, Alonso now about to set a time. Alonso should put Maloney in the drop zone. He does. Who else is going quicker? Piastri. Hulkenberg now coming across the line. Hulkenberg. Is he going to knock Tsunoda out? Tsunoda is out in Q1. A nightmare debut in front of his home crowd. Piastri goes quicker as well. Now it's just to see where Ocon goes. But Colapinto is going to be safe. But we've got some major casualties in SQ1 there. Sainz in the Williams is last. We've also got Tsunoda in there in Red Bull on his debut, and Antonelli. So let's have a look at this. Yuki Tsunoda locked up. And he is out. He's going to start 19th then in the race. Antonelli 18th. Maloney will start 21st in the sprint. But Franco Colapinto has made his way through to SQ2. And car setup is now revealed, and it is 100%, so perfectly set up. Let's head to this second quali session, and we'll go straight out. Probably only going to do one lap here, because I don't expect us to get through. And the whole grid is coming out, so we should get a nice clean lap. Yeah, we don't expect to get through to SQ3 here, but who knows? We can expect to get through to SQ2, but there we go. Colapinto 1.3 off Alonso. He's nearly a second off Behrman in the Haas, so not ideal there. Well, I told a lie. I've sent Colapinto back out. We're going to give these tyres back anyway, so we may as well have another go. He's only a 10th off Bortoletto. And with the last driver out here, we just made the line with about 3 seconds to spare. So let's just see if he does manage to go quicker through the first sector. We are looking, of course, for a green sector. Let's see how we go with Franco then. And he does go green, so let's wait and see. Let's forward him on. Might get a nice little toe off Gasly here. Green through the second sector. Is Gasly going quicker though? We're a long way off Gasly. Is Bortoletto gone quicker? No, we might be able to jump Bortoletto and start at least 15th here. Let's have a look. Colapinto across the line. Wow! Go! P11. Wow! Just 600ths of a second off Stroll getting through to SQ3. I think we got a nice toe there off Gasly. But Franco Colapinto has absolutely delivered there and has put it in P11 for us. Brilliant stuff. Let's see what happens in SQ3. Yuki Tsunoda then, Max Verstappen's teammate, knocked out in SQ1, but Max puts it on pole. It's Russell second, Piastri third, Hamilton fourth, Norris fifth, Leclerc sixth, Alonso seventh, Lawson in the RB in P8. Isn't that just classic there? Liam Lawson demoted into the RB, and he gets it in the top 10, the top 8. And Yuki knocked out in Q1, Albon P9, Stroll P10. Let's jump into then the sprint strategy, which should just be one tyre, soft or medium for us. Let's have a look. Soft, yeah. Soft on light, though. I don't like it. I think I'm going to go medium with Colapinto. Would be a little bit slower, but Maloney's got better smoothness, so let's go with that. He's up to 94% on his car setup, worth saying. Colapinto, that was on light and it was touch and go, and if he has a lockup, that will be it. So I think let's go with that as we start this sprint then in Suzuka. First sprint of the year. Already the third race. Only got 20 races in this series, so this will be 3 down already. But here we go, 5 lights out straight away, and Max Verstappen gets us underway. And Franco Colapinto and Ollie Behrman, the only 2 drivers on mediums. So we could be going backwards early on here as we're fighting with Liam Lawson. So we may have made an error there, but it was touch and go with Colapinto. So let's just see what we can do. But Colapinto is going to move into the top 9. Great start from Franco then. And Verstappen kept his lead. We've got a couple of quicker cars behind, of course, in Tsunoda and Antonelli. But Franco's having a nice little start to his Maserati career here. They won't be able to push their tyres too hard, though, I'd imagine, these soft runners. Maloney has got past Jack Doohan then. He moves up into P20 as DRS is enabled. And Colapinto is alongside Alex Albon on the outside. Can we make this work on Albon? Not quite got inside here. If we're just about, we are getting good traction through there. And Franco Colapinto is not in the top 8. Nearly, very nearly into the top 8. But has to concede.
take a look at the replay.
Unfortunately, Jack Doohan
Here we are
has
following
got
the Alpine.
Maloney back. DRS assisted here.
The opportunity begging to be taken.
And not much we can do about that one. And Colapinto is about to be overtaken by Liam Lawson here. We've just dropped off the pace now. Colapinto of Albon lost the DRS. And he's got Lawson and Stroll looking very racy now. And here we go, Liam Lawson on the outside, better traction. And as he's overtaken, Zane Maloney finds himself right at the back of the field. So struggling with a bit of pace so far, early on our drivers. But we're managing a bit of tyre life with Maloney, so he might be able to come back later on in the race. And Colapinto continues to go the wrong way here, going backwards as Liam Lawson has now cleared him by a couple of seconds. And Lance Stroll is looking very good to get past him next here. We were a little bit fortunate in qualifying. We haven't really got the pace. We should be finishing around 18th, 19th or 20th here. And that's where Maloney's pace is. He's right at the back, 2.6 seconds off the pace. So I think this is going to be a case of Colapinto going backwards, unfortunately. And there goes Lance Stroll. So Colapinto down to P11, but that is where he started. And I think it might be Antonelli and Gasly involved here. Here we are. Yes, they come together and Antonelli is damaged. Lost a front wing end plate, front wing damage.
And you can just feel the
Not going well for Antonelli round here. Both Gasly and Antonelli have damage. Colapinto's 2 seconds off Stroll now. Got Ocon behind him still, who's got some floor damage. As we say, Gasly and Antonelli have both got damage. Behrman looks like he's got some floor damage. Tsunoda is still stuck in P17 though. And Maloney is near enough caught back up to the pack though, so he may not finish dead last here. And no penalties given between Gasly and Antonelli. Isaac Hadjar's had a lock-up. Few drivers making issues here. Hadjar was in 20th. There we are. With Maloney. And we will not be running last anymore then. That's not good to lock up because you've not got the tyre life, and that's going to be a real struggle, 54%. Hadjar's going to be very much off the pace now. Maloney getting closer to that DRS of Doohan. But Doohan's tyre's pretty good on 66%. Colapinto, 72%. He's got a bit of tyre margin. Colapinto will just attack through this next phase because he's just broke the DRS to Ocon. So let's see if we can maintain that. Zane Maloney is now behind Ollie Behrman, who's dropped down the order. And he is on mediums and at 44%. So Maloney's got a chance here with DRS to move from 21st on the grid to 20th. And he is going to do that. Good work from Maloney then. Moves into P20. Just wanted to have a look actually at Gasly and Antonelli who collided. 53%. Gasly 53. Yeah, they're fine on those, to be fair. Colapinto, update on his progress. Remaining in 11th. 3 seconds off Lawson. He's got 2 seconds to Bortoletto. So Colapinto might be able to finish P11 here today. It would be a fantastic result for us. Yuki Tsunoda and Antonelli still trying to work their way through the grid. Antonelli obviously with some damage. Tsunoda's only managed to get up to P16. So points look unlikely for these two. And we've got a safety car now. Well, that's going to really neutralise this race now. That's not good for Colapinto though. It's Max Verstappen and George Russell. What has happened here? Oh, they were both off the track.
What the is this?
Both off the track, and George is just giving a little love tap to the side pods of Max. And it looks like Max is definitely out. Max and Russell are out. Wow. And everyone's jumping into the pits. And we haven't. Let's do it with Maloney. We haven't jumped into the pits with Colapinto here. We're risking it.
Box this lap.
We weren't going to get points anyway, so it's a case of we either finish 11th or we may as well finish 20th, if you see where I'm coming from. I think Maloney has missed the pit exit though, hasn't he? Yeah, the pit entry, so we'll cancel that. And Maloney will have to go on a defensive job here. So as it stands, we're P6 with Colapinto, P8 with Maloney. But of course, we're going to be under massive threat here. But how long is this safety car going to stay out? The safety car's just picked up all cars. There's 3 laps to go. Is it going to come in this lap? Please don't. It's not. It's not coming in this lap. It's got to be in this lap though, hasn't it? Safety car is ending. Okay.
Safety car will be in this lap. Just focus on restart. Copy.
Colapinto in P6. Maloney in P8. Oh dear, what can we do here?
Copy.
It's going to be the last lap. We're going to be on the last lap. Can we hold on for at least one of our drivers to gain a point here? Both of their tyres are very low. The rest of the grid got fresh rubber on. They've got to try our very best here. Here we go. We're underway. Piastri leads us. McLaren 1-2. Colapinto, though, what can he do here? In 6th. He's down to 7th. Is he? The Williams of Albon he's fighting hard with.
Copy.
He is. He's into... Albon's past us. Come on. Hold on, one of you, for at least a point here. This would be mega so early on. We've got our drivers 7th and 8th. We can ask Maloney. I don't think Maloney's overtaking, so he can be our defence, hopefully, for Colapinto here. Half a lap to go. It's Stroll right behind Maloney. But Colapinto is still in P7. Maloney's still in P8. It'll be a double points finish at this rate. And this is looking quite good. I can't see them getting to Colapinto here. Colapinto surely is going to survive. Maloney is going to be under some pressure from Stroll here. Here comes Stroll, but he can't do it. Not through 130R. What about down here? Is Stroll going to have a look? No, he's not. So it looks like Oscar Piastri is going to win this race for a McLaren. It's going to be a McLaren 1-2. Somehow, Maserati are going to get their first points of the season as Colapinto finished 7th and Maloney finishes 8th. What a result for us.
Piastri has just
We took a gamble with that safety car, and that has worked absolutely perfectly. It's 3 points for us in this sprint.
And that sees them wrap up this sprint with a well-deserved finish in the points.
Wow, here we go then. Full classification. In the end, it was McLaren 1-2. Piastri wins it. Norris 2nd. Hamilton 3rd. Leclerc 4th. Alonso finishes 5th. Albon 6th for Williams. But look at this. Colapinto up 4 to finish 7th. And Maloney up 13 to finish 8th, taking a safety car gamble. And it's gained us 3 points. Stroll 9th. Bortoletto 10th. Yuki Tsunoda and Antonelli never got to the points. Liam Lawson dropped back as well, but he did beat Tsunoda. And as we saw, Max Verstappen and George Russell crashing out then. That was drama. Right, next, quali. Let's get into full quali for this one. Hey, full quali, let's get them straight out. I don't think we've got the chance of scoring points here in the full race, but who knows? The sprint was testament to that, but we did get lucky with the timing of that safety car. But let's see how we go then in quali. And Maloney's done on 31.6, 31.7 for Colapinto, so Maloney is up on this first run. And we've got a Williams getting out of the way. Let's just see what this second sector time looks like. It's a 37-0 for Colapinto. 37-2. So Colapinto looks like he's swung that round to be up a 10th himself now. Maloney just getting through this final chicane then, and then we'll see what time he posts. Going to be pretty close between our two drivers. Maloney across the line first. 128.4, but a 128.3 from Colapinto. Okay, we are out on our second runs here. Colapinto going a little bit quicker, 131.5. Maloney a 131.7. So we're already a couple of attempts down through that first sector. So work to do. We are in the bottom 6, so we are in the drop zone. So we do need these to go quicker to give us any chance of getting out. We're only a 10th off Ocon, a couple of attempts off Behrman, who are already finished. Maloney said he got a bit of traffic there. I'm not sure he's held up massively, but let's see. 37.7. He was held up significantly, so Maloney's not going to go quicker. All about Colapinto, who doesn't go quicker himself through that second sector, so work to do through the final sector. We need to find a couple of attempts. A couple of attempts might be enough. Colapinto then to the line. Is he going to improve? Yes, he does improve, but not enough. Only by about half a tenth or so, so we are going to be knocked out in Q1. Liam Lawson is out in Q1. And Sonoda, P15 in the Red Bull, just about hangs on for Q2. There we go then. Back to reality. Knocked out Q1, 19th and 21st. That's pretty much where our pace is. So it might be a long race, but let's see how we go. First of all, let's see what happened in Q3. Q3 then, and it's Oscar Piastri on pole. Antonelli second, Verstappen third, Leclerc fourth, Hamilton fifth, Norris sixth, Russell seventh, Albon again in the top 8 for Williams. And then the two Aston, Stroll and Alonso. Not seeing Yuki Tsunoda there. But yeah, Yuki Tsunoda just missed out on Q3 in 11th place. I guess that's an improvement, getting knocked out, not getting knocked out in Q1, such as we saw Checo and Lawson doing a lot. So maybe Yuki's made a slight improvement there. But let's jump into race strategy then. We are going to be starting 19th and 21st in this one. Okay, so we are going two-stopper with both, slightly different in the strategy. So we're going softs, then mediums, then soft with Colapinto. Softs, then mediums at the end for Maloney. So let's jump in as we start this Japanese Grand Prix. Here we go then, the Japanese Grand Prix. Yuki Tsunoda making his debut for Red Bull, starts P11 as Piastri gets us underway in the McLaren, and we start 19th and 21st. We're going to hope for a bit of drama here today. Emma thought this was real for a second. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Colapinto makes a good start then. 18th, getting past Liam Lawson, who's now in the RB. But Liam Lawson's still on our inside. Sainz has picked up some damage. Sainz, safety car. We've got a safety car. What has happened there early on? We wanted some drama, and we've got it straight away. This is our livery, by the way. The only thing you'll notice, one thing I need to sort out, is our Maserati badge here, which is just needs to be pushed a little bit higher. Sainz is retired. Okay, we don't get a replay. Don't know what's happened to Carlos Sainz there. We've got a red flag. Doohan's just blocked. Doohan could actually pull out there, but we've got a red flag. We lasted half a lap here before a red flag then. Red flag then. We may as well, I mean, put another fresh set of softs on for now. Right, let's start again then. I think we'll be on lap 2 then. The lights held. We're on lap 3 apparently. We've skipped a lap there. But Sainz is out. Oh, we want to turn all this up though. This is going to be very slow.
Copy.
Right, Colapinto then, 18th. It's Hadjar getting past Maloney on the start. But yeah, this is our livery then. As I say, I just need to change this logo, move it up a bit. But this is our first Maserati livery. Think about doing some special liveries, a red livery as well. But these are sort of the colour scheme we're going to begin with. Oh no, Maloney's forced really wide by his teammate there. But it's worked out because he's stayed ahead of Hadjar. Oh dear, what's happened here now?
Okay, do your best.
We've got a Haas of Ollie Behrman. He's now parked on the inside. It's all kicking off
Let's
here.
watch these cars as they head into
Cam,
turn
new
10.
save. This is a new save, a Maserati save that was just started. Ollie
Struggling with
Behrman
the
then.
car, and they'll need to be mindful of the effect that that had on the tyres.
Not ideal, and that will taking a bit of tyre life out. So anything but finishing last really here is a positive for us. And Yuki Tsunoda up to P9. He started P11, Yuki, in that Red Bull. And Colapinto is having a look at Pierre Gasly through 130R, but not going to go for it. And we've got another yellow flag. It's Bortoletto this time on the outside of the track. Yeah, 2025 mod this is. Bortoletto's had an issue.
Doing a good job at the moment. At the moment we are P17.
Now we can see what happened.
So we'll just see
We're at turn 14 here.
Bortoletto on the outside of the
And they
track there.
squeeze
So
by.
I don't know what's happened there. He's either locked up or been pushed out wide. Does letting your tyre temp drop to that point it goes blue card affect performance pretty irrelevant. To be honest with you, I hadn't really noticed that with Colapinto. Yeah, it's not ideal to let them get too cold. We need Maloney to get past actually here, so this will work out if we can. Yeah, no, ideally it will affect performance, so you do want to keep them in the window really. Obviously, getting them too hot, you'll degrade them a lot quicker, and especially with young drivers, they are prone to an error when you're pushing hard on the tyres. So Liam Lawson in the RB now, of course, in Japan here. Should be jumping into the pits. Is he going to peel in? He does. So Lawson is the first to box in this race. Maloney carries on. He wants to go another lap.
Yeah, copy.
Just losing a bit of pace of these tyres. Just dropped off a little bit too early. We're attacking a little bit too hard on those, but that's fine. Here we go then. Our first stop in Japan. Hopefully it is a clean one, or at least around about 2.7, 2.8, because he can't afford to lose too much time, because he's going to have Hadjar, I think Bortoletto and Behrman all coming in here. There's Hadjar, there's Bortoletto. And there's Behrman, so all three are coming in. So we need a nice clean stop here. We're right at the end of the pit lane, of course, being the new team. 2.6. I said anything under 2.7, we'd take it. And Hadjar looks like he's having a very long stop. He's still there. Oh dear. That's an awful stop. We take that.
At the moment we are P18.
Well, that's lovely for Maloney, because that's given him a little bit of buffer there. Right, here comes Colapinto. Are you an underfueling believer, and if so, how much? Lou, I do believe it's the right strategy to underfuel in this game. I don't do it because I'm awful at remembering my fuel at the best of times, so I don't like to underfuel just in case I forget about it, and I just don't do it because it's easier for me to not manage, especially when I'm streaming, concentrating on chat and things. So, yeah, but if you're generally playing, underfuel's better go. Here's Colapinto then, his first shot. Oh, it's a long one. Oh, no, this is what we don't want to see. This is a Hadjar stop. Oh, no. That's going to put Colapinto behind Bortoletto and Doohan. Ah, that's a nightmare. These are the kind of issues you encounter when you're into a fresh save, though. So Colapinto not working out for him there. Yeah. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. I heard some impact. I heard someone hit the wall there. I'm sure I did. What has happened? I was looking at the graphic.
There's been a crash.
Oh, it's behind us, though. We wanted it ahead of us because Behrman and Hadjar, what's happened? Oh, Behrman stays on and just Hadjar's facing the wrong way. What's happened to Hadjar then? He's got damage. Is he going to have to pit? He's already stopped, hasn't he? Hadjar, is he going to stay out? Is it minor damage or does he need to come in? Oh, he's staying out, but Hadjar and Behrman both got damage, so at least it's good for Colapinto. Hopefully he's safe from any attack behind him. And they've used a lot more tyres, so... But we want some drama ahead of us. Yeah, Colapinto just really in no man's land now, isn't he? Oh, Maloney. Oh, no. No, Maloney. I said about young drivers making a mistake, and that's a big one. Maloney's going to be out. Oh, Zay Maloney.
At the moment, we don't have any other.
No. We're trying to catch up to Hulkenberg, and he's just been way too late on the brakes. Oh, Maloney. No.
It's not going the way the team had hoped today. That is for
Gareth
sure.
Hulkenberg. Oh, no. Zay Maloney. That's going to be a lot of money. That's the problem. Oh, no. That was a big smash. No, I don't think we can pit, really. We're going to have to just settle in. Zay Maloney, then, has absolutely binned it. Surely he's going to get a penalty for that, no? No, well, we take that at least. Well, that's a shame, because as I say, Maloney's not beat Colapinto yet in this series, although this is only third race in. And that was certainly his chance. He had 8 seconds on him and has absolutely binned it. Done a Mick Schumacher. If anyone knows our series from the very start, this F1 Manager 24 series at least, you'll know that. Verstappen is now pitting when the virtual ends. That's great Red Bull strategy there. Makes no sense. Oh no! What is going on? Oh my god, who's put oil on that part of the track?
Like Hulkenberg's had a bit of trouble.
Hulkenberg's
Here we are then at the 11th corner.
Actually, it's a different part of the track, actually. It's earlier on in the track.
Has to be said,
but
that
still,
was pretty risky. I imagine
what is going on? Oh, what's happened? Minor suspension damage. We can't do much about that. Oh, and Colapinto's got a penalty. Oh, get that salt and get it into the wounds. What a nightmare couple of laps we have just had. Well, we said we wanted some drama in this race, and we wanted that drama not to be our drivers, because we wanted drama to take advantage of, but the drama has been caused by our 2 drivers. And mainly, as Huru says, Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's a magnet there, which has dragged both of our cars into his side pods. But Colapinto is now 17th. He's 13 seconds off the next car up the road, and he's got suspension damage. So this is not looking too good for us here. But at least it's not been a boring race. But here we go then. Colapinto is second and final stop. Let's hope for, well, I was going to say clean one. It's going to be slow anyway, isn't it? Because we've got to wait 5 seconds before we can work on the car. As we've got Doohan in the pits, who is going to be a whole pit stop ahead of us, and we are racing him at some point in this race. So here we go, serving the penalty. Can't touch the car. And now they get to work. That's the slowest. What was that slow-mo about? Anyway, 7.8. It's actually a 2.8 second stop, so the stop was fine. 5 seconds. So we are out in 19th. Yuki Tsunoda in P7, so he's having a very nice debut for Red Bull. They'll take that in real life. Autoletto out, so yes, we're not fighting him. Right, Hulkenberg is going to have to get out of the way here. And hopefully this is going to bring Colapinto right onto his gearbox. Well, I say Hulkenberg's got to get out of the way. Hulkenberg isn't getting out of the way. He's very upset today, is Nico Hulkenberg. He's had 2 Maseratis into the side of him. And he's holding Antonelli up a good in here. Oh my god, Hulkenberg just won't let him past. Hulkenberg's had enough. Is he letting him go now? No. No, he's not. Hulkenberg is literally had enough. Antonelli, poor Antonelli's race is being absolutely ruined by Hulkenberg, who's just decided for this whole lap that he's going to ignore blue flags. And surely now... No, Hulkenberg is still not lifting. Hulkenberg has had an absolute nuff today. And Kimi Antonelli is getting the brunt of it. Surely he'll get past naturally anyway now because he's got DRS, but maybe Hulkenberg has done that because he didn't want to lose time because he didn't want a Maserati close to him, and who can blame him? Okay, so we have been behind Hulkenberg twice before in this race. Once from Maloney, who smashed into Hulkenberg, then smashed straight into the barriers and crashed out. And then Colapinto was behind him previously, and he went into his side pods as well and got a 5-second penalty and has got suspension damage because of it. So it's not gone too well when we've been in and around Hulkenberg. But Hulkenberg is picking up a lovely toe off Antonelli and is keeping us out of his DRS. He's down to 36% though, so he will be getting out of the way either way in a moment. And we'll move up to 16th, and that's probably going to be about as best we can do. Behrman's 8 seconds off. A lot of carnage down here from Hulkenberg downwards. Been a lot of accidents. All right, we pick up some DRS there as Hulkenberg does jump into the pits. Colapinto will push along now. Russell is leading now. Verstappen second, Piastri third. And they're about to finish the race. Colapinto 1.7. He's not going to have enough time to do it, is he? Bortoletto is going to survive. Russell has won it. Verstappen second. Piastri third. Hamilton's going to be fourth. Leclerc fifth. Tsunoda's going to finish 8th on debut for Red Bull. But we're not going to be able to reach Bortoletto. He's just about going to hold on another lap. And he would have been really struggling. But that has been drama. Zane Maloney crashed out, smashing into Hulkenberg, retired. Then Colapinto also smashed into Hulkenberg, got suspension damage, a 5-second penalty. But he has recovered to at least claim P16. And if we're not finishing last, we'll take that for now. Colapinto then brings it across the line, and it's P16. Well, let's have a look then. Full result. George Russell had good tyre life at the end, and that has won him the race. So George Russell leads, well, did lead. He certainly did lead the race, and he won the race. Up 6 places to win it. Max Verstappen second, Oscar Piastri third. Oscar Piastri also took the fastest lap, as are the rules in 2025. Of course, no extra point for that. Lewis Hamilton fourth, Leclerc fifth, Lando Norris sixth. Antonelli really struggled on his tyres at the end, down 5 to finish 7th. And Yuki Tsunoda did get some points on debut for Red Bull. Started 11th, finished 8th. And if that happened in real life, I think Red Bull would take that, and I think Yuki would take it. Fernando Alonso 9th and Lance Stroll 10th. So the Aston Martins with a double points finish. As we see back here, Franco Colapinto started 19th, up 3 places. A lot of drama at the back there. So we'll take that 16th. Zane Maloney, unfortunately retiring. All down to himself. Trying to move on Hulkenberg. A bit of a lock-up. Too much speed. Crashed out. And that's probably going to cost us quite a few parts. Drivers' Championship then after 3 races. And including the sprint here in Suzuka. And Max Verstappen is leading the way. Hamilton scores the same. It's just 10 points between those two. Oscar Piastri a further point back in third, and George Russell takes a good haul of points as well. So it looks like this could be a very close Drivers' Championship if it carries on this way. Only 3 races in so far, of course. We do only have a 20 race calendar. So this series, as voted by the community, we have dropped Miami, Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. So those 4 are dropped. So it'll be a 20 race calendar. So that's the 3rd race out of 20 already completed. And yeah, it's going to be very tight. Leclerc 5th, Lando Norris is 6th, Antonelli 7th, Lawson 8th. Those points all coming in the Red Bull. Obviously not in real life. He would be on 0, but he did get 12 points in the Red Bull in this game. Fernando Alonso 9th, and Yuki Tsunoda scores his first points of the season. Now in that Red Bull into 10th. Then we've got the rest of the point scorers. Albon, Stroll, Colapinto, Sainz and Maloney. Constructors, it's Ferrari actually leading the way, but again, very tight. So McLaren move into second, just 6 points behind, and then a further 16 points behind are Red Bull, and Mercedes are there or thereabouts as well. So it's going to be the top 4, really, it looks like this year. Then a drop off to Aston Martin in 5th, Williams 6th, but Maserati in 7th. We've already got 3 points, so we take that. Then Alpine, Kicksauber, Haas, and RB are yet to score. Oh, we even got some pit stop points there with a 2.6 stop. And that keeps us in 7th. So not going too bad at all there. Well, there we have it. It's really a tale of two halves, this one. We weren't expecting to score points so early on, and the sprint couldn't have gone better. We gambled with that safety car, stayed out, and secured our first points of the season after just 3 races. So as I say, not expected at all, but then the race was very much back to reality, apart from Hulkenberg being a bit of a magnet to our cars and drivers trying to smash into him. Maloney, first of all, really overcooking it into that corner, clipping Hulkenberg into the barriers out of the race, and Colapinto, just after the restart, done the exact same thing, not as severe, stayed in the race, got a penalty, and that hampered any further progress he could make. But all in all, I think we're very happy after this weekend. First points of the season secured. It might be a couple of races until we get more points, but very happy with that. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, please do me a massive favour and smash that like button, and we'll be back very shortly with the next episode in this Maserati F1 Manager series.